Hey guys, welcome to this channel. This is a story about, what if Naruto had 4 Dojutsus. Before we start the video, please do consider subscribing and liking the video. Let's get started.
I do the same thing I told you that I never would. Told you I changed, even when I knew I never could. Know that I can't find nobody else as good as you. I need you to stay.
Shout out to the creator of this fanfic, Draco Halo 117. Disclaimer: I do not own Naruto. The beginning. It was supposed to be a simple C rank, bring Tazuna the bridge builder to wave. They weren't supposed to be attacked by anyone other than bandits. They weren't supposed to fight ninja, but they did. They were first attacked by the missing nin called the Demon Brothers, then they were attacked by Zabuza Mamachi. Kakashi-sensei had defeated him, but before he could finish him off, he was taken by a female hunter nin, who was really his accomplice. They had trained the whole week to fight Zabuza. They thought they were ready, they were not even close. On the bridge, surrounded by mirrors of eyes, was Naruto Uzumaki, holding the dead body of his best friend. Is this the first time you have seen a loved one die in battle? Is this the first time your heart has been wrenched out of its chest? Spoke the false hunter nin. Naruto just stood there, holding the body of the last loyal male prodigy of the Uchiha clan. No, this was not the first time Naruto had seen a loved one die. This was not the first time he had his heart wrenched from his chest. Oh, how he remembered that incident well. It would forever haunt his memories, until his dying breath. Flashback. It was October 10th, Naruto was sitting out in the rain, holding the cold body of a young girl with sparkling blonde hair and piercing green eyes. Her name was Chio. She had taken a wound to her that was slowly and painfully killing her. The culprit, a tall blue-haired man, a former Anbu that specialized in assassinations, he had lost his wife in the Kyuubi attack, and hated Naruto for holding the monster. Ha 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 ha, how does it feel, demon, to see someone close to you die? Feel my pain before I do the same to you, monster, yelled the crazed shinobi. Naruto felt rage welled up inside of him. All the rage and hatred that he had hidden over the years was finally released. He wanted to kill the bastard. He tried to hurt him by killing an innocent. He would die. You monster, I'll frickin' kill you. Naruto ran at the man who was unaware of Naruto's attack. Naruto plunged the kunai that the man shoved into Chiyo's arm right into his heart. Naruto shoved the kunai deeper into his heart, staring into the eyes of the man that killed the person he cherished most. He hated the man. He had never hated anything, not hated anyone, more than he hated this man. He had endured Konoha's hatred towards him, so be it. But when he hurt Naruto's only friend, he would die. Naruto watched as the life slowly drained from the terrified and crazed eyes of the bastard shinobi. Join your family in hell, you monster. Naruto shoved the kunai one last bit into his heart, seeing the last bit of life drain from his eyes. Naruto stood up and ran back to Chiyo's side. No, Chiyo, don't die, please don't die. Don't leave me alone. Chiyo looked up at Naruto. Naruto, please, I don't think I can make it. Naruto, please, kill me. Naruto was horrified. He couldn't possibly kill his precious person. Chiyo, please don't ask me to do that. We can still. Naruto, I'm dying. Please end this pain for me, please. Naruto couldn't believe what Chiyo was asking him to do, but she was in pain. He couldn't stand that. So with great reluctance he raised the blood-stained kunai, Kami-sama, forgive me, and plunged it into her heart to give her a quick death. Naruto-kun. Naruto turned to see Chiyo's beautiful green eyes, seeing the life drain from them. Let me look into your eyes, let me have the side of her eyes be the last thing I see. Naruto never turned away, granting Chiyo her final wish. He watched as the life drained from his most cherished person, the one he had killed, to end her pain. Naruto swung his head back and roared to the thunder clouds as the rain pelted his tear-stained face. The lightning crashed around them as he roared in despair. Naruto, at 11 years old, would never forget what he had done. It would haunt his nightmares, forever. Flashback Kai. And now here he was, holding his precious person, just as he had held Chiyo not even a year ago. He could feel the white-hot tears flowing down his face as the red chakra bubbled around him. He could feel the cold lifeless body of his self-adopted brother and rival. How he wanted to have the power to hurt the damn hunter bitch. How he wanted her to suffer for killing his brother. Little did he know, at that very time, the very demon that caused the damn villagers to hate him so much, was granting his wish. Mindscape, same time. Kyuubi, the heiress of the Kitsunes and the most powerful demon outside of the Kitsune clan leaders, was disgusted. She had been imprisoned in the boy for over 12 years. When she woke up not even minutes ago, she looked at her host's life. She saw every beating that he had endured because that thrice damned Uchiha had forced her to attack a village that she held no quarrel with. They condemn a child for something he did not control, all because of me. Kyuubi sobbed to herself, loathing herself for hurting such an innocent soul. I will make it up to him, but how? Kyuubi thought perhaps she could give him a bloodline, but that would cause him to become a Hanaya. She sobbed even harder, hating herself for not being able to make it up to her. She then noticed something. She looked at his family history. She then had the biggest foxy grin on her tear-stained face. I just may have found a way to start making up my debt to you, Naruto-kun. Where the heck did the kun come from? Deciding to leave that thought for later, she activated the bloodlines of Naruto, the 4 great Dojutsus, and gave them a way to be compatible at last. But she was not done there. She made sure that Naruto had all the power he could get from the Dojutsus, feeling that if anyone deserved their power, it was Uzumaki Naruto. She regrettably decided to make Naruto physically relive the memory of his friend's death, to activate the final stages. Naruto-kun, please forgive me for causing you this pain. I feel my debt to you will never be repaid, but I will do whatever I can to make your life better. Knowing that each Dojutsu had a downside, she flooded the prepared product with her chakra to purify them. Well, I may have been able to keep himself from making it impossible to use the eyes, but they will still have their downsides. At least the downsides are now only chakra-based. Being satisfied with her finished project, she painfully began the activation process. Naruto-kun, I hope you can find it in your heart to forgive me for the pain I am about to cause you. She then began the process, never noticing that her tampering broke the seal that bound her. Back with Naruto. As Naruto was crying, he began to feel pain in his eyes and forehead. It started out small, then erupted into a pain far worse than any beating he had ever endured. He felt his eyes burning, he felt his forehead cracking in 2 places, both of them right above his eyes. He felt the flesh split and blood pour down his face. He clutched his forehead and felt the flesh surround 2 holes in his forehead like they would an eye socket. He then touched the inside of the holes and felt the blood forming together, solidifying, forming some sort of flesh object. He screamed in pain as his own chakra mingled with the red chakra that he knew was the 9-tailed fox's. He did not notice the chakra coming together nearby him as it began to form a solid object, an object very human-like. All he felt was insurmountable pain. He heard tears of what sounded like sorrow, and he then felt himself be embraced from behind by a pair of arms. He felt the pain slowly die down until it was non-existent. He turned around to see the face of possibly the most beautiful woman he had ever seen. He finally looked down into his puddle of tears and blood to see his reflection. Seeing a 4-eyed blonde staring back at him, Naruto of the 4 Dojutsus was born. Powers and truths. Finally, I had some writer's block in how Naruto can use all 4 of the eye techniques, with different drawbacks thanks to Kyuubi's tampering. Naruto could not believe it. Where once he had 2 eyes, he now had 4 eyes. How the heck did that happen? He did not have time to ponder this thought anymore because he sensed a series of projectiles coming in from his left and right sides. He jumped up and knocked the Senbon away. Wait, he knocked the Senbon away. The class dobe who could not even hit the center of the target at the academy, had knocked away a Senbon? I do not know how you managed to do that, but it won't help you. I will fulfill my purpose to Zabuza-sama. Haku then placed her hand in a Haftorah seal and sent hundreds of ice needles in Naruto's direction. Seeing no way to dodge, he hunkered down and waited for the onslaught. It never came. He looked up to see a young redhead probably only a year older than him. Her body was riddled with the needles that had almost hit him. You monster. Naruto felt his rage boil. He turned to the one known as Haku, but before he can move a single inch, the ice in the mirrors shattered. What the heck just happened? Naruto could not be any more confused. First he blocks a bunch of Senbon before he even sees them, then he apparently shattered a Kekkei Genkai just by looking at the user. What's next? Black flames from his eye. How the hell did I do that? With Kakashi and Zabuza. They had both seen what Naruto did. Kakashi was wondering what Naruto could possibly have done to shatter a Kekkei Genkai. Zabuza was incredibly confused. How did this Gaki defeat his daughter's Kekkei Genkai? They stared at Naruto until he looked up in their direction. When they saw his face, they were creeped out and amazed. Naruto now had 4 eyes, each one was different. In Naruto's eyes were the 4 great Dojutsu. In the eye above his original right eye was the Sharingan. In the eye below his Sharingan was the Shishogun. His original left eye was now the white of the Byakugan. And the eye above his Byakugan, he had no idea what it was, but it had a single small black pupil and was surrounded by various rings. He thought perhaps someone else would know about it once they got back to Konoha. But why the hell did Naruto have the Shishogun? The only person he knew of who possessed that eye was. Realization dawned on him. Minato-sensei. Zabuza was confused as hell. Haku could never be defeated by a lowly genin. Nobody could break her Kekkei Genkai. It just wasn't feasible. Zabuza stared at the kid and finally realized what the hell happened. The child had the 4 great Dojutsu, and they were in their second stages. That was how he did it. The Rinnegan's second stage allowed one to control the sub-elements to a degree. But how did this kid possess all 4 of the great Dojutsu? Anyone who had heard the legends of the Dojutsu knew they were incompatible. He stopped pondering this when he saw the child turn to the now terrified Haku. No, he would not let his daughter be harmed. Heck, his missing nin bravado. No one hurts his daughter. He rushed towards the boy to protect his child. Back with Naruto. Naruto turned his head to the now terrified girl and walked towards her. When he was only a step away, he felt someone come at him. Completely on instinct, he raised his arm and charged chakra into it, stopping what appeared to be a heavily used guillotine. He turned his head to see Zabuza, but he then turned back towards Haku. The strange thing was when he looked into her eyes, he saw the truths about her. He saw that Sasuke was not dead. He released the guillotine and shoved Zabuza back by pushing the sword. He walked over to the red-haired girl and lifted up her injured form bridal style, causing her to blush a Hinata-style red. Apparently she liked him. Yes, Naruto knew that Hinata liked him, and he himself liked her back, but he was afraid of what people would do to her if she was dating the Kyuubi brat. Naruto began walking towards Kakashi-sensei when he heard clapping. He turned his head to see a short, portly-looking man standing in front of what seemed to be about 300 thugs, carrying weapons from axes to katanas. Well, it seems that the so-called demon of the mist can't even beat some 4-eyed genin freak. No matter, my thugs should be able to kill all of you, the one Naruto assumed as Gato then sent a lecherous grin towards the 3 girls on the bridge, but I think I'll keep the little girls. Oh, by the way, Tazuna, you might want to hand yourself over, especially when I have this. Gato pointed behind him to see Tsunami being dragged up with her son, both in chains. Naruto was about ready to run forwards when he stopped to think. No, I need a plan. How can I get them out of there if they are surrounded by over 300 thugs? But what, if only I could take out all those thugs without hurting Tsunami or Inari? Naruto's thoughts were answered when he started to feel a stinging in his top right eye. He looked at the thugs. He saw Kakashi looking at him with a wide eye. But when he looked at the thugs, he saw what appeared to be a swirling mass pulling anything it could grip into it. The thugs started lifting off the ground before they were brought right into the vortex where they were shredded. He saw the blood pour out of the vortex. This continued until only Gato, Tsunami, and Inari were left on the bridge. What the fuck did you do to my menu? Ah! Gato had looked directly to Naruto, who was running right at him, followed by a very pissed off Kubiriki wielding Zabuza and a Chidori charged Kakashi. Gato did not even have time to blink. He was kicked up in the air by Naruto. He did not reach the ground before Zabuza leapt up in the air, cutting him in half at the hit. The last thing Gato saw was a ball of lightning being shoved into his face. Naruto was exhausted and fell to his knees. Shoot, that took a lot out of me. Hey Kakashi-sensei, can I get a little help here? Naruto did not realize just how much chakra he used using all 4 of the great Dojutsu's final stages. Kakashi was amazed. Naruto not only had the Sharingan, but the Byakugan, the Shishogun, and some other Dojutsu. But the most amazing thing was that his Sharingan had morphed into a pinwheel shape. Naruto had the main Gekaya Sharingan. Naruto's was slightly different yet similar to Itachi Uchiha's. Naruto's main Gekaya was shaped like a 3-point curved shuriken. It seemed to have a smaller pedal arrangement inside each groove separating the points. Kakashi knew that the main Gekaya Sharingan was extremely powerful, but he wondered who of Naruto's parents had it. Kakashi decided to leave that thought for later. He went to help up Naruto when he was pushed aside and saw Naruto be embraced by Tsunami and Inari, both sobbing. Thank you, Naruto-kun, thank you. If you hadn't killed those monsters, we would have been tortured and sold as slaves. I would have been separated from my only child to be used as a sex slave. Tsunami burst into tears while burying her face into Naruto's comforting embrace. 3 hours later at Tazuna's. Team 7, Tazuna, Tsunami, and Inari had arrived at the house with Zabuza, Haku, and the now identified to Kakashi, Kyuubi. They had to carry Naruto because he had overexerted his chakra, much to Sasuke and Sakura's ire and to the joy of Kyuubi. They had just laid Naruto's exhausted form on the couch before the questions started. Alright Kakashi-sensei, why the hell does Naruto have 4 eyes? Why are the missing nin that tried to kill us here? And who the heck are you? Sasuke was confused as ever seeing the Kyuubi. He was glad he activated his Sharingan, and was amazed that he held his own against the Hunter Nin. Kakashi did not know how to explain this without breaking any S-class laws. What could he say? Naruto has all 4 of the great Dojutsus because he had the Kyuubi sealed inside of his body. Oh yeah, that wouldn't be breaking any laws. Just as he was about to speak, Kyuubi decided to talk. Kakashi-san, I will explain, you can't reveal some of the information that they need. Sasuke and Sakura were confused, what couldn't Kakashi reveal? Now to begin I will tell you who I am. I am the Kyuubi no Kitsune. Everyone but Kakashi was surprised at this. Here, standing in front of them was the very demon that had destroyed their village. But she seemed so gentle and kind. I am sorry for what I did over 12 years ago. I was not myself. An Uchiha by the name of Madara, he used the power of the eternal main Gekkai to gain temporary control of me and forced me to attack the village. I was imprisoned inside Naruto by your yondaime. I never wanted to attack the village. I woke up after 12 years and viewed my host's life. How can humans treat their young so horribly? He was beaten to death on his 5th birthday. How can they be so cruel? Kyuubi was sobbing with her face in her hands. Tsunami was trying her best to comfort her. Sasuke and Sakura were appalled. If Naruto was treated that badly, then why weren't there any scars? Kakashi, if what she says is true, why aren't there any scars? Questioned Tazuna, appalled that someone could do something so despicable to a child. The reason Naruto wears that jumpsuit is because it was layered with hundreds of genjutsu seals that never fade thanks to the special cloth in it. Naruto has scars covering every part of his body. He has been beaten by most of Konoha's population. Sasuke and Sakura were appalled. Naruto endured that. They went to Naruto's sleeping form and removed his bright orange jumpsuit. When they finished removing it, a shimmer went across Naruto's sleeping form to show hundreds of scars covering his whole body. Where Naruto's whisker marks were, there was a large scar in each place, carved in by a sharpened kunai knife. They looked at Naruto's chest to see a diagonal scar leading from the top of his left shoulder to right below his hip. They also saw burn marks that seemed to come from Kaiten Jutsu. Most of the burns were just rough skin now, but when they turned Naruto onto his back, it looked like he had the Kyuubi no Kitsune carved into his back with white-hot kunai knives. They looked at his right arm to show that it had been cut off and then reattached at some point. Not being able to take any more, Sakura ran from the room with tears in her eyes while Sasuke was shivering like a leaf. Kakashi, is this how your village treats its heroes? He saved your village by holding this demon, no offense, in his navel, and they beat him for something he could not control. I am wondering if we should ever hire from Konoha again after seeing what they did to a child. Tazuna was seriously miffed. Here was a child no older than 12 that had been beaten because he was a prison for a monster. Narrow-minded beasts. GRNNG. Everyone turned around to see that Naruto was now waking up. My head hurts like hell, darn it. Sakura and Sasuke were staring at Naruto. And Haku was wearing a blush seeing Naruto's well-toned chest. Why are you guys staring at me? Sakura handed him a mirror. Thanks Sakura-chan. Naruto looked into the mirror to see 4 eyes staring back at him. I thought that was a dream. Naruto was now hyperventilating. Tsunami ran across the room and started rubbing her hand on his back trying to calm him down. What the heck happened to me? Naruto was saying his words in between breaths. Kyuubi came forward and began to explain. As soon as the explanation was done, Naruto looked into Kyuubi's eyes. He saw she was not lying. I forgive you. Then Naruto asked the question that everyone was wondering. Why the hell do I have 4 eyes? Everyone looked at Kyuubi, who had on an uncomfortable grin. She then told everyone how she went through his DNA and found a way for the Dojutsus to be compatible. As well as the fact his second stage now only caused the major downsides if he overexerted his chakra or used what was left of Kyuubi's that was still in her body. At the end of it, Naruto did a very Hinata-like feint. Thump. Kyuubi looked from Naruto to the rest of the group and broke out in a huge grin. I think he took that rather well. Everyone's sweat dropped at the fact that the Kyuubi was little different than a teenager. They left the room to get to bed, but late that night Kyuubi and Haku stalked downstairs to sleep on either side of the now 4-eyed Uzumaki. Naruto woke up feeling well rested, but his head was still splitting. He would definitely have to figure out some way to use his new Dojutsus without overdoing it. He was going to have a hard time finding a way to hide them though. He could only imagine the villagers' reactions. Oh gosh, the demon shows its true colors, let's kill him, instead of understanding him while praising the man who made his life hell. Yet, that would likely happen if he did not figure out some way to present this to the council. Unfortunately, without any living relatives there was no way he could prove it. Little did Naruto know that the woman, who gave him life, was awaking from her 12-year coma. Heavily guarded Hyuga Hospital. Kushina Uzumaki was now waking up and opening her eyes after 12 years of hibernation due to birth stress. She did not know how long she was asleep. She thought she was asleep for a few days. I wonder where Minato Koi is. I can't believe I have been asleep for the past few days. She had thoughts of hugging her husband, hugging her child. Oh my gosh, Naruto, WHO has been taking care of him. I have to find. Her yelling was cut off when the door to her room opened with a shaky-looking man around his 40s, and he greatly resembled Hayashi. Hi, I just need to get out of here. Do you know where my son is? He was born a few days ago and I was wondering if, could you please stop staring at me, it's kind Kushina. The old man jumped at her and enveloped her in a bone-crushing hug. Whoa there old-timer, I don't swing that way. Kushina was confused. This old guy knew her and seemed relieved to see her. Who the heck are you? Are you an older relative of Hayashi Baka? The old man seemed to gain a twitch in his forehead. Kushina, it's me, I'm Hayashi. Kushina could not believe it. Here was her old academy buddy Hayashi, in his 40s. The last she remembered he was only 29 years old. She slowly calmed down and asked the question that was now eating away at her. Hayashi, how long have I been in a coma? Hayashi knew that Kushina would not take this well. Kushina, you have been in a coma for near 12 years. Kushina could not believe it. She could not believe it. She had been in a coma for almost 12 years. She had missed his first birthday. She may have even missed him graduating from the academy if he decided to join. Kushina had just stopped bawling when she felt a strange sensation run up her spine. Overprotective mother senses, tingling. At the mention of the word mother she went back to bawling while Hayashi and his wife tried to calm her down. Nidora was a beautiful woman. She was a refugee from the Hidden Rain village. Her eyes were a beautiful mauve and her hair was a stunning violet. If Hinata did not have short hair and the Byakugan, the two of them could practically be twins. Albeit one was taller than the other and was extremely possessive of her husband. Being possessive of what they claim as theirs is a problem that most women in Nidora's family have. Hinata seemed to have carried that trait in regards to Naruto. Kushina had just been told about everything Naruto had endured, down to the last beating. She could not believe that her son lived through all that. Why didn't you take him in, Hayashi? Why did no one take him in? Kushina was angry. The alliance between their clans stated that when one of their own was in trouble, the other would come to assist. Why did none of her friends take Naruto in? Kushina, we tried everything we could to adopt Naruto. But the civilian council and the elders managed to block us at every turn. We managed to hold enough power to keep Naruto from getting executed. But that was as far as we could go. Kushina was now quivering in rage. The council tried to have my son executed. The venom in her voice terrified the room's occupants. Those monsters are dead. Do you hear me? Dead. Kushina ran straight for the clothes that have been sitting on her bedside and pressed a seal her husband had placed on it and pulled out her special friend. She was now holding the same blade she had used to slaughter 117 Iwa and Kumo shinobi that were invading Konoha. This very same blade is what got her the nickname, the Red Death, and now she was going to use it on the monsters who tried to murder her child. She started walking right towards the door before she was grabbed by her arms by Nidora and Hayashi. Let go of me, I'm going to kill those bastards. Kushina was struggling from being in a coma for the past 12 years. No Kushina, you can't go out here and kill. Frick you Hayashi, I can't believe you would allow these monsters to go on living after what they have done. Have you never wanted to hell my son? I have wanted to kill the monsters who dare call themselves human beings for so long. The Hyuga elders and I, the branch house even, were ready to go out and kill half the village for what they did to Naruto, but before we could even leave the compound, Naruto found out about our plan. He begged Kushina, he begged us to not hurt the villagers, he begged on his hands and knees to forgive them. We wanted so badly to go out and kill every person who harmed him Kushina, but we saw that doing that would only hurt him more than he already was. Kushina stopped struggling, she turned to face Hayashi. How Kushina was confused, how could he stand them after what they have done? Kushina, this time it was Nidora who spoke. For some reason or another he sees the village as precious to him. He often talks about how great his family must be, but he sometimes wonders if they abandoned him. If he saw you, his own mother, after so long, kill every villager who had ever wronged him, Naruto would go insane. He would more than likely run away from the village and hang himself for the dogs to eat, before coming near you. The conflicting emotions just would not process properly in his brain. Kushina remained silent. She was right. If her child saw her do such a thing, his own mother, killing anyone he viewed as precious, he would kill himself to relieve him of his mental torment. Kushina broke into tears, thinking that she had failed as a mother in every way. Back with Naruto. Naruto walked into his room and decided to check out his wardrobe. He was still wearing the same Kill Me orange jumpsuit. He loved the jumpsuit, not because it was orange, but because it was the first and only gift he had ever received. He knew it was from Kurenai and Anko. The two of them always were looking out for him when he was a child. He knew that they thought he was cute. Every time he looked into their eyes he saw a weird sparkle, the same time he saw, in Hinata-chan's eyes. The realization hit him, the Genjutsu Ice Queen and the Snake Mistress loved Naruto, but why? With Kurenai and Anko. Both of the beauties sitting at the table sneezed. Whoa, someone must be talking about us, was Kurenai's reply. I wonder if it's Naruto-kun. No, bad Kurenai, he's 8 years younger than you, but still, Kurenai was depressed. She had fallen in love with Naruto when her and Anko made him that orange jumpsuit for him when he was 7, she was only 15 at the time. So she had no idea that spying on someone that young in the shower was a bad thing. When she heard about pedophilia happening on the other side of the village, she was ashamed of herself. She tried to forget her feelings for Naruto, but she couldn't. She had fallen for the blonde fox boy. Anko was in the same boat. Anko could not help it, she had fallen for the Gaki the day he saved her. She had so badly wanted to go up and tell the little Gaki how she felt. She knew Kurenai liked the kid as well, and she was curious as to why that was. Kurenai said. Genjutsu Mistress turned her head. Why do you like Naruto? Kurenai blushed at this and looked away from her longtime friend. Come on Kurenai, you know why I liked the Gaki, but I never found out why you liked him. Two of them had been friends for years. Kurenai at one time did not care either way about the boy, until she saw the scars that riddled his body. She began stalking the boy whenever he was home. She remembers the time that she and Anko had made the orange jumpsuit he wears so much. Flashback. Naruto had just woken up. It was now October 10th, his birthday, and he was now 6 years old. He wanted to go to the academy, but he didn't want anyone to see his scars. If there was one thing Naruto could not stand, it was definitely pity. He had just finished washing his toothbrush in boiled water and went out to the living room where there was a square package. Outside Naruto's window was Kurenai Yuuhi and Anko Mitarashi. They knew that the Gaki did not have any skills in Genjutsu, so Anko made a specialized jumpsuit out of a lightweight, durable fabric, while Kurenai applied everlasting Genjutsu seals. They had made the jumpsuit and placed it in the middle of his living room inside a square cardboard box. They were now watching as he picked up a long stick from behind his furniture and started poking the box before jumping behind the furniture. Wow Anko, when you said this kid was paranoid, you were not kidding. Kurenai had never seen anyone, much less a 6-year-old, act so cautious of a present. They watched him repeat the process at different angles until he went to the box, threw off the top, and ran back behind the furniture. He slowly walked towards the box with the jumpsuit in it. He pulled it out and then, just like a curious animal would, he played with it. Kurenai had to stifle a giggle that threatened to come out. When he was done playing with it, he decided to try and put it on, but then there was knocking at his door. He looked around for a place to hide it. The only place it could go is out the window. He ran to the window and threw it out, hoping it would catch on something. Kurenai and Anko were furious for a second seeing him throw it out the window, until they saw 3 old drunks barge into his house and destroy everything that he owned right before they tried to beat him. Unable to take any more, they jumped through the window and kicked all of the drunks' asses. They then went and grabbed Naruto and ran to the hospital. Late that night they go back to check on Naruto in the hospital, only to find a trail of blood leading back to his apartment. They followed it all the way up to Naruto's apartment, to find him sleeping on the floor with the same jumpsuit that they had made. Kurenai was astounded. He risked blood loss for a gift. She saw him stir as he opened his eyes. He looked into her crimson orbs. He said a single word to describe the angel he saw: beautiful. Kurenai was blushing. The boy had just called her beautiful, but he wasn't being snide about it, he genuinely meant it. Kai. They had both fallen hard for the Gaki, but they knew they could not share him. Unless he somehow came back from a mission with a Kekkai Genkei, he was going to be allowed only one wife. How lucky they were that that was the current case.